What is up, and welcome in. I am, of course, NatesLegend, joined today by the one and only Mr. DaDewdlyDoo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Doing well. I'm tired today, man. I'm so tired today. So
It's
today's gonna
Sunday.
be we're gonna right. We were doing it on a different day. We've had a hard time matching up our schedules lately, so I think we're finally kind of back into things. Today is going to be a weird one just because we're on Sunday instead of Saturday, but we are hoping to kind of move things back and finalize and get things all sorted here shortly. Yeah, Doodles, how have you been? What is new with you, my man?
I have been playing Elden Ring. Just to get straight to it, I guess.
Yeah, let's jump into it. Let's talk about our think about it question. What games
Yeah.
did you play this week? We have 2 weeks to cover those. So anything you've played over the last little bit, go ahead and break it down for us.
All right. Okay. So I've been playing Elden Ring, of course.
Fantastic.
Got to a point where I got stuck. It's kind of an understandable point. I'll get into it later.
Of course.
But and then so I switched it up and I downloaded the PS5 version of GTA.
Okay. How different is that? Is there much graphic difference?
Doesn't seem different at all. I haven't noticed much. From what I understand, like there's been like some focus stuff. Like you can like see stuff when it's further away. It looks like it's further away, I guess. I don't know. I haven't noticed it personally. That's just something I've heard from a friend. But
okay.
I mean, the updates to the game have been cool. Like it used to feel like you'd get into online and it's just like, all right, well, hang out with these heathens and enjoy getting just killed and this fun stuff. But no, they actually have missions and stuff that you can get into now. It's a lot more like I don't know. It's easier to like figure out what you're supposed to be doing.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm getting back into the swing of Grand Theft Auto for sure.
I dig it. We actually have some Grand Theft Auto news today as well, so we'll have all the time to talk about Grand Theft Auto. We
Nice.
do have from them, so I love it. I personally, I mentioned it on the last show a couple weeks ago. I haven't had much of an opportunity to really get back into it more than a couple of hours over the last few weeks. I did play a little bit of Kena. We got together and we had a group of friends get together and we all had a debate as to how we say, how you're supposed to say the name. And we kind of came
Kenna. You had to pronounce Kenna, right?
Kenna. Yeah. So it's pronounced. So we determined that Kenna was the right pronunciation. It turns out it's Kana. That's how she pronounced it in the game, is Kana. So nice. I'm going with the official. It is Kana Bridge of Souls or whatever the rest of it is. It's fun. It's really relaxing. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it very long because of the other games that I've been playing. So I have played more Dawn of Ragnarok. I don't want to say I finished it. I still technically have at least one more mission, but I'm no longer in Svartalheim. So I'm out of the dream at this point. So I know the story. I don't know if there's anything more beyond once you wake up. But I did make it that far. I cleared the entire map while I was in there. It was actually kind of well timed, if I'm honest. And then the other game I just picked up and just started playing today because it
really quick. Can I pause?
Friday.
Can I pause?
Yeah,
because I want to talk about this too. But I have a question regarding Dawn of Ragnarok.
Absolutely.
So when you wake up from the dream, do you wake up as Desmond and you get an apology letter from Ubisoft for killing off their main character, or no?
Right? No.
Okay, no.
it's Eivor's dream. So you're waking back into the video game. Yeah. So Although that would be clever. That would be clever if they could find a way.
That'd be kind of a fun thing. And then bring Desmond back, and then make all of us happy.
Okay, so it's kind of interesting. I know that at the end of the game, you're able to recover. You actually get into the vault. But if I'm looking at timelines correctly, the same time that the Siege of Paris add-on is going on, there should still be a vault underneath underneath Paris from one of the earlier video games. If you look at the timeline, it should still be there. So I'm kind of interested in seeing, like, I don't know. Could they add something like that even in? I think that'd be. I haven't played the Siege of Paris yet. I jumped right into Ragnarok. Nonetheless, all right. Sorry, that's a whole tangent. But if we're gonna talk, it could be there. Just saying, tie them all together a little bit better. But nonetheless,
as you were saying,
as I was saying, so we picked up today, stellar cast. I picked up Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So I got pretty far in, couple hours at least. Got well past the intro. I've wandered the map a little bit. It's really interesting, and I cannot wait to have an episode on it because it is so much fun. Andy Samberg is a voice. We have Will Arnett as a voice. Wanda Sykes is a voice. Like, star-studded cast as well. It's
great
fun.
Cast.
Dude, Andy Samberg in this role is too perfect. It is too good. It needed to be his voice. And I'll take any of the DuckTale voice actors, any single one of them. Bobby Moynihan or, it's Abed from Community. I cannot remember real names to save my life. We have Abed or John Ralphio from Parks and Rec. Any of them would have worked as well, but the perfect casting here is absolutely Andy Samberg. Caught me by surprise. I did not know he was going to be in it, and it's so much fun. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. And anyway, I'll pass our time back at this point, but because that's all I've done this week. So
the Abed is Danny Pudi.
Danny Pudi, that's right. And then
I think I'm pronouncing that right.
What's that? Who's John Ralphio again?
Let's see.
Because I see his face so clearly in other roles, and he has a brother that's on. Is it brother on Stranger Things? Oh my god! Is it?
Is it? So I'm not familiar with Community. What characters?
No, we're good. We're gonna. It'll come to me eventually. It's fine. For now, all right. Let's. It's Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz is the name. Schwartz is the name. I love Ben Schwartz so much. Anyway. We can keep moving. We'll keep things rolling along. Having a lot of fun with the other game, but we'll keep things going, and we will have a full episode on Tiny Tina's. I promise you that. That's actually the only reason I really picked it up. And because I finished on Ragnarok. I'm going to stop talking now. Let's move on to our major updates. All right, guys. Major updates. So, I kind of just skimmed through them. This isn't there aren't a ton, but there are a ton. So I picked the ones I wanted to talk about. If there's anything else you want to add on, please let me know. But we're going to start with the PlayStation Plus Game Pass counterattack. I don't know what you want to call it at this point. We should be hearing from PlayStation this week with what their new PlayStation Now is going to be. So, have you had a chance to see anything of it about this?
I have not. I've been busy with the thing that we're talking about today.
Right, with Elden Ring, right? So my understanding with it is it's going to be a tiered system. It's going to include a lot of PlayStation games. So it's very possible we're getting the big PlayStation titles, like the exclusives. It almost sounds like we're going to be getting all of those in the highest package. So should be announced this week anyway. But I mean, do you think it can stand up to Game Pass and where Game Pass is already? What are your thoughts?
Well, I like what PlayStation Now's been doing. They have been consistently putting out decent titles. As far as like playability goes, there's a bunch of games that I would be willing to play. As far as, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what's been going on with Xbox's Game Pass as much, so it's hard for me to compare. But there's been decent games. Like I know I can stream God of War right now, so that's cool. They got good titles.
They do. I'm really hoping that, because everybody says like, oh, the big selling point of PlayStation is the exclusives, right? So honestly, if you're going to create this service, have it as a tiered system, and actually be able to compete with Game Pass, you are going to need to put most, if not all, of those exclusives back. Like you're gonna have to put them on the highest tiered system. We're talking God of War, Ratchet and Clank.
Throw Spider-Man on it.
Throw a Spider-Man in there. Like I'm not kidding. You're going to need all of the exclusives to make this actually work properly, unless you're giving similar titles to what Game Pass is already giving. Like,
right.
You have to set this apart, at least in my opinion. So I'm hoping.
I will say that the monthly games being released from PlayStation have been solid, though. They've been releasing good ones.
Have we seen the April games? I wasn't too happy. Like, I don't want to say not too happy. I mean, I was not really looking forward to March. Have we seen April yet? I don't think they've released
look at it.
Yet. Okay, yeah, see what we can find there. If we can find anything, I really don't think it's been announced yet. I think it'll likely be announced like Monday or Tuesday, so tomorrow or the whatever else. Nonetheless, all right, so should get that announcement later this week. I'm hoping early in the week, if I'm honest. Hoping it will come along with the PlayStation Now and Games with Gold. I'm hoping will both just be announced Monday or Tuesday, make it real easy for everybody. But
yeah,
I guess we'll see. All right, continuing
going
on.
to March though. March had Ark Survival. That was one that I'm gonna download. I might get on and play it. Ark is fun, but yeah, as far as Ghost of Tsushima Legends, that was the multiplayer add-on, and then for the PlayStation 5 is Ghost Runner. That one looked interesting. I haven't seen a whole lot on it yet. Check out
Ghost Runner. Ark is one that I already own. I think is part of the reason I was a little disappointed in it. It's like, oh, okay, I already have this. I got it free some other time. I don't know, but I had it already, and it's also available on Game Pass. So, meh,
But, so I don't know if this is accurate or not. Wait, no, this is last year, so never mind. I'm not seeing anything on April yet for PlayStation Plus.
I'm sure it's gonna come with the announcement of their rival. I think it's named Spartacus right now, codename Spartacus. If anybody's interested, but yeah, nonetheless. All right, continuing on, we will keep things kind of rolling a little bit here. CD Projekt Red did announce a new game this week. They have officially announced the next installment in the Witcher franchise. Okay, that's what they have announced. They have made it very clear that this is not necessarily The Witcher 4. It is not necessarily even with Geralt. It's, it's just the next installment. So it could be an add-on. It could be a whole new regime, a whole new game. They were very vague in this, in the way that they said it. What are your thoughts? Are you interested at all in playing the next Witcher game?
I would like to get onto the game before the community hypes it too much for me, because that's what happened with 3. I don't want to bag on Witcher 3. I know it's a celebrated game in its community and stuff, and you know what? If you like it, you like it, and I'm not going to bash on it. But I will say that it was way overhyped for me. I got on it years after it was released, and I was just kind of like, this is not. I don't know what I was expecting, but my expectations weren't met. So,
see. My issue with it, because I'm in the same boat. Everybody talked about how good it was, whatever else, and I go back and play it, and it just feels like an old RPG. Like there doesn't feel to be anything special about it. Like
it just didn't grab me at the beginning, and I just didn't fall through.
How far did you actually get into the game? Like what's the farthest you've made it?
I don't think I made it very far at all, honestly. I think I just started playing it, and I don't know. This was years back, so I have no idea what I was playing at the same time. I may have been gotten, swarmed into like the new Call of Duty or whatever was out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it definitely fell through the cracks for me as well. Likely for the same reason. It feels generic, I think is what it comes down to. It just feels like a generic video game, and I don't understand. And you know what? That may be a good thing. Maybe it was the one that like set the bar, right? Like maybe it was the original, it's the formula, but it doesn't change the fact that by the time I got to it, it was old and stale because it just looked like the same game. Like I honestly felt I could not tell you. You could put me in The Witcher and you could put me in Assassin's Creed with just a screenshot, and I would not be able to tell you the difference.
I do feel like that's the same problem a lot of RPGs are suffering from. I feel like they all kind of like are doing it's like the same vibe that I'm getting, the same theme. It feels like you could take a screenshot from any of these RPGs, and if you're not looking at like your HUD or something, you wouldn't be able to tell which game you're in unless you're like super familiar and you're looking at the Erd tree from Elden Ring. But like it's fine.
There are some key things. Like I'll even give Assassin's Creed its due when you're in anywhere other than Earth. Like if you're in any other realm other than what is present, in the earth, Svartalheim or Valhalla, wherever you are, those look very different. They made a very distinct look for those because they're these grand fictional worlds. But the moment you're right back in Europe, right back in in England, it just feels like the same again. So
yeah. I want to go back and play the Assassin's Creed 2 again. I want to play the Ezio adventures. I miss those.
I thought I saw them on sale not too long ago. You could probably get them for fairly cheap at this point.
I might already have them. I think I have them already. So I'll probably go through and play them. It's just, dude, Assassin's Creed 2 is honestly, and I might get hate because there's a lot of Black Flag like fans, but that one, in my opinion, is the best Assassin's Creed game ever made. For me, is Assassin's Creed 2. Just the original, the introduction of Ezio. He's still my favorite assassin, and it was before they took the artistic direction that they chose. And I was still like hooked into the story. The real-time story was what had me hooked with Assassin's Creed. I've said it before and I'll say it a million times. Desmond's story was amazing and I really loved following it. And yeah, it was a bummer. I can't remember what happened. I think it was like a director left Ubisoft and they decided to change the story or something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah. Either way, yeah, the Desmond storyline with Ezio was just awesome. And I would like to have more of that for sure. They should remaster Assassin's Creed 2.
It would be interesting to see if they could bring it full circle. Because they did. They kind of separated the games out. You have your Ezio collection, and then these latest 3 games are kind of their own little world. Like
Odyssey and
Odyssey.
What was the one before Odyssey? Was it Origins?
Yes, so it's Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla are the 3 next.
You had, I think it was Egypt, you had Greece, and then now you have Norse mythology.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm not 100% on the order, but yeah, that's exactly it. All right, another small bit of news, but I thought was interesting, and I really want to hear your take on this. Fortnite has officially removed building altogether.
Yeah.
Here's the best part. There's no sign of it coming back. Data miners went through and they're like, yeah, we there's no sign that they're ever going to
what I see happening. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a game mode specific thing. They'll probably have a build mode and a non-build mode eventually because the fans of the community, like the community is going to be the diehard like OG players for Fortnite are going to be probably pretty pissed because that was a skill set. I watched my nephews, and this is like, oh god, it's so frustrating. I feel so old. I feel super old because I'll watch my nephews, and they'll be playing. They'll look what I did, and they'll tap a bunch of buttons, and then all of a sudden,
the Eiffel Tower is up, and you're like, what just happened?
I'm like, how are you following that? Like with your corneas? Like, how does that work? Like, I can't even see what you did. Did you see it? Because I don't think you did. And no, it's crazy. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna have diehard fans that are gonna bring it back. It'll probably be a game mode specific thing. But I'm excited. I'm probably gonna play some Fortnite. I think I might download it and check out. Maybe I can get one of those skins from one of my favorite IPs that somehow ended up on this freaking game. But whatever, I'm down to check it out. Now it's just an FPS. I might try it. But I'm still not a huge fan of battle royales, but we'll see.
I agree. I enjoy battle royales if it feels fair for everyone. Right? Like if I'm not feeling like I'm getting wrecked by some dude that plays nonstop. But here's the way I kind of see what I think is going to end up happening. So you have the diehard fans, like clear up here, right? We'll try to keep that in frame. So you have the diehard fans right up here. The number of players, like way up here. They're diehard fans, the number of players. So then you have everybody else that kind of plays that don't necessarily enjoy the building. Right. So as they remove the building, the diehard fans, the number of players are going to go down, but everybody else is going to go up until they're a little more matched. Right. And then so once they have it, they're essentially keeping the same number of players. Right. So for every player that they lose, they're picking up another one on the other spectrum. When they add that LTM or if they do it as a limited time or if they just do it as a game mode, they gain all of those players back. Right. So you end up with basically a third of your player base. You just gained just off of removing one aspect of that game.
Yeah. I mean, it seems reasonable that you're like removing an aspect of a game that seems like that makes it really difficult for a bunch of players to get on and play it, especially like new players. Like, so removing that would make sense. I feel like you're going to have the same type of conversations from Fortnite players as you are getting from the Elden Ring community right now with OG Souls players, which you guys are toxic. Stop doing it. You guys are being bad. Let us enjoy these games. Quit gatekeeping the community. If you're a Souls player and you're telling other players that they aren't playing the game right, you're the problem. Don't be that guy or girl or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just don't do that. It's not cool.
I don't understand gatekeeping. Like, if you want, like,
how do you not just
want to talk to, like, if there is someone that says, "Hey, I enjoy this game," I want to talk with you about it. I don't want to make you prove that you're really a fan. Like, no, sit down and talk the game with me. Like, let's have some fun with it. We don't need to. Why would you want to keep players out? I don't know.
I want to say this is the message for the Elden Ring community that I would like to say is like, if you want more games like this, you want many people playing it. You want a lot of people to pick this game up and play it. And you don't want to be that person that says you're playing the game wrong. And no, you don't want to do that, because the more people we have playing it, the more odds are we're going to get way more games. And that's what we want.
Exactly.
That exclusive like mentality isn't going to do anything but hurt the IP. So just, I don't know, just welcome people, help them out, do what you got to do. And I would say the same thing goes for probably Fortnite. I mean, you might feel like they broke the game with the elimination of building, but what I think is probably going to happen is, like I said, they're probably going to introduce another game mode where you're going to have your building back. It is part of the original game, so I doubt they're going to ditch it forever.
Especially when it's been a key, like that has been a fundamental part of the game since the game released, right? Like that is what set Fortnite apart from your PUBGs.
It was Fortnite versus PUBG, and the only thing that was different was you could build in Fortnite.
Yep, and that is what sold people on the game. That is why people played that game. I think it's an interesting move. I'm willing to give it a try without it. If I'm honest, I'll give it a. I'll
Spider-Man.
We should hop on and play. Maybe we should stream that one of these days. We'll hop on and see if we can rage at some Fortnite. But let's keep moving.
We can, like, lose in Fortnite,
right? Yeah, we'll see what our losing streak comes out to. We'll get on it, dude. Fuck yeah, let's do it. I'm in. All right, we'll keep things moving. We have 3 more pieces of news here, sort of. Okay. So first off, Grand Theft Auto. All right.
Yeah.
So they announced there's some more announcements coming from Grand Theft Auto. They're releasing more things, but it's a paid subscription to Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah. Okay.
It's called GTA Plus.
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know anything about this. I
didn't even get.
Teach me, Sir Nate.
Okay, so GTA Plus. It is the newest. Okay, I'm just gonna pull up a random article here. It allows members to get a recurring $500,000 directly deposited into their account. You'll get member-only discounts, special bonuses, all sorts of fun stuff, just because you pay a little bit extra to play the game. Grand Theft Auto 6, have a paid subscription. Come on.
You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know. It is what it is. If you want, this is their way of getting that money. You know,
I have never. Like, we make fun of Skyrim for milking the cow dry, right? But this is a whole other level. They waited for the cow to go dry, and now they're butchering the cow up and trying to sell it to us. Stop! Give me a new game. I don't care anymore. I really just don't care anymore.
GTA Online broke the game with that flying motorcycle. Okay, ever since that flying motorcycle came into play, the trolls have their weapon, and if you're a new player, you get dunked on, and it's bad. All right, so it's pay to win for sure, because you can buy that motorcycle right out the gate and just be the best in the whole world. I don't mind it. There are always going to be those people in the lobbies that are, wanting to flex and do all that, but I have other stuff that can keep me occupied. And
right.
But as far as the milking the cow dry argument. It's definitely sounding a little bit. GTA 5 has been out for how long now? And honestly, I don't care for the online. I want more story. I just got done playing the campaign mode for the story mode for GTA 5 again, and I almost restarted it just to go again because I do love the stories that they come out with. I might just get 4. Who knows? Whatever.
Ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hear
Grand Theft Auto 5 released September 17th, 2013. Whereas Skyrim released November 11th, 2011.
Yeah.
So, in 2 fewer years, I feel like Rockstar has... Is it Rockstar or Rocksteady? Rockstar. Because
Rocksteady's the TMNT, I think. I think that's the Ninja Turtles. I might be wrong there. I'm not a Ninja Turtles person. Is it Bebop?
I'm fine. I need a second.
Hey, dude, Daredevil's really cool. You guys like Daredevil? I like Daredevil.
Yes. Okay, so Rockstar. I feel like Rockstar, in 2 fewer years, Rockstar has ruined their... I'm going to say ruined. Ruined is the right word. Ruined their IPA, or their IP worse than Skyrim has. And that's hard to do. That is so hard to do. So,
I don't know, man. I feel like... I'm with you, but I still feel like they have some work to do to beat Bethesda on the thirsty scale. I mean, Skyrim 27 just got released like 5 minutes ago. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I'm sure they're releasing things every few months now. It's no longer just a yearly release. Content.
At this point, you don't even need to give us a new game. Just start making DLCs.
Add
more story in some form or another. It's fine.
I need Halo multiplayer to release content at the same rate Skyrim does. I know that sounds very, very little, one every few years, one every year. But right now we're not getting anything. So anyway, okay. Sorry, total tangent, but I want
them to remake Ezio. Well. Do the Ezio stuff again.
Do Ezio, yes. I don't understand. All right, we'll continue on. We'll keep things rolling for just a little bit here because we brought up Halo for half a second. And so we're going to roll with it. Did you have a chance to watch the first episode of the Halo TV series?
I've heard very bad things. I haven't seen anything.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear. What have you heard so far?
I only saw one person put a review out on Facebook. This is literally how invested I am. I'm so little not invested at all. But I've only seen one, and they were very not happy with it. And it's fine. I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
All right, we're gonna put 2 different goggles on today. Okay, 2 different hats. We're gonna be 2 different people.
Hats. I don't even have one hat on.
All right, as a die-hard Halo fan that has shit that goes on my walls. I plan tattoos for Halo. As a die-hard Halo fan, I absolutely fucking hate it. Hate it.
Okay.
It's cheesy. It's unnecessary, and it feels forced.
Okay.
As a non-dedicated fan, as a casual fan of Halo, this show is fucking awesome. The story is actually fairly compelling. I'm interested in the story. They do the characters justice. Master Chief, even, I feel like, for being someone else, not the original actor, he's doing a very good job. It is a little bit cheesy. It's a little over the top on the CGI. Kind of has to be. Some of the suit abilities that they have are a little ridiculous. As a casual fan, I will continue to watch this show. If the first episode felt like a pilot, that's the best way I can put it. It felt like a pilot episode. And if you've ever seen a pilot episode, it's never the best product, right? It's not meant to be a final product. So I'm really hoping that it will progress moving forward, and I'm really excited to see where they take it. You have to separate the 2 people, though. As the diehard fan that knows that it is not a part of the story, it's very hard to get into it. But if you just kind of accept it for what it is, it's not canon. It's just to have some fun. It's going to be different. It's a great show. It's actually a lot of fun. I really did enjoy it. It little bit of a slow build up, but by the end, I want to know what happens next. You know
what?
So
on that note, I kind of thought of something. Yeah. Everybody, and you might like this. Everybody needs to develop the Batman philosophy. You know how there's like a new Batman every 3 years. Yeah,
revamp
every time Batman's released, people are freaking stoked on Batman. All right, that's what happens. Batman gets dropped. It doesn't matter what happens. It's Batfleck. We freaking like Batfleck. You might not like Batfleck, but we got a new one now. It doesn't matter. And guess what? In 5 years, it'll be a different guy. It doesn't matter. You know why? Because the Batman community goes nuts for Batman every time. Mm-hmm. And that's what Elden Ring fans need to do. And that's what Halo fans need to do. It doesn't matter what the content is. You got to be stoked on it, even if it sucks. All right. We all remember Nipple Suit Batman. It happened. All right.
Yeah.
So just be stoked on the content and you'll get more of it. I think that's the good way to do it.
Okay.
The Batman effect.
One. I don't want to feel like I'm playing devil's advocate, because devil's advocate is never a good role. If you're playing devil's advocate, you're automatically the bad guy. Period. But I will play just a little bit of devil's advocate. Sometimes it's not about how much content is being released, right? Like Fortnite has an ungodly amount of content that's coming out. Yeah. Even I'll even throw Rocket League under the bus here. Rocket League has just an unbelievable amount of content that's coming out, but most of it's crap. Like, you do still need to make sure you need to make sure that you hype the parts that you like, while at the same time making sure that your voice is heard about the parts that you don't, because that is the only way to actually implement change, or else you're just going to keep getting crap. Same thing with Overwatch. It's the reason that game is dead, is because it was just crap content that you're putting out, you know?
Hey, Overwatch is still very alive and screwing up all of their characters. They're still doing it. I heard some stuff that they're doing with Orisa, and it's nuts. And then I guess oh man, I just forgot his name. Guy, Doomfist. Yeah, they're making him a tank. He's a tank now. Are you freaking kidding? He's a tank. He's a tank. Doomfist is a tank now.
It does make sense.
It makes no sense. He was DPS. It makes none at all. It makes me mad. That's fine.
I can really care that much.
I don't play Overwatch anymore.
No, right. I don't touch the game. But using it as an example, like that's really, it's the epitome of killing your own game. You know, you release the same thing over and over again, and eventually people aren't going to want to play anymore. You know
what? Overwatch, you want me to come back and play? Give Reaper his soul orbs back. Make him viable. I'll play.
You know what? Here's where I drew my line. Where I know this is the moment that I went from being skeptical about Overwatch 2 to just downright being cynical. Okay, so skeptical to cynical.
Skeptic to cynic.
They invited a bunch of Overwatch content creators, streamers, and whatever else. They invited a bunch of them to the studio, Blizzard Studios, and showed them the game and said, this is what we're going to release. And every single person came back and said, oh my God, I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. And every single one of them signed an NDA and could not even talk about how awesome of a game it was. Mm-hmm. Why would you do that? Why would I believe someone that says, I think this game is awesome? Cool. Why? I can't say. Then don't fucking tell me it.
They gave Bastion his shield back. It's great, guys. We're all stoked. Bastion, man.
That was the moment. That was the moment where I'm like, you know what? Just fuck Overwatch 2. I was already skeptical because I already felt like it was a PR stunt, I guess is the best way to put it. They ran into some PR issues and they're like, shit, what do we do? Overwatch 2 is coming. They had no plans at the time. They didn't actually have this game in development. No release date, nothing. This game was pulled out of their ass. And they said, we're going to make Overwatch 2. And we're like, cool. Can we get information on it? And then just fucking nothing. Right. And then so we're like, okay, all right. Yeah, we want more Diablo 2. Can we do that? And they're like, hey, here's your mobile game. And it's like, fuck you. I don't want a mobile game. And then same thing. When was the last time you heard anything about Diablo 4?
You know, that's a good point. I haven't heard anything in a minute.
Dang! They pulled these games out of their fucking ass as a PR stunt.
On that note, though, I mean, I'm skeptical. I haven't paying attention to Blizzard just as like common, like just like a standard thing lately. Just because I mean, I don't know. I vote with your dollars, people. Don't support
vote with your
people
dollars
doing shitty things.
Don't order things, don't vote with your money. Anyway, keep going, Doodle. Sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just haven't been paying much attention to Blizzard. As far as Overwatch 2 goes, I'm here to see what they do. Like I know people who love the games, and like I want them to be happy. Like I want my friends who enjoy this stuff to have something to enjoy. But at the same time, the game itself has done nothing but like ruin its own experience, in my personal opinion, with my characters that I enjoy. You break them, and then you don't fix them, and then you have this dumb tier list of who to play as and who's going to be good, and you can't balance your shit, and you need to be able to balance it. It's ridiculous. I can't have, dude. There was a point, and I don't know how it is now, but there was a point where my favorite character, Reaper, was literally unplayable. I could not freaking play as him, and I don't know if they fixed it. I don't know. We'll see.
If you have to literally pull your... I'm going to have to word this very, very carefully here, because there are legitimate reasons to pull characters. But if you have to pull a character from competitive play strictly because they are too overpowered, your game is broken. Like, just fix it. You don't just pull them from competitive competition while the rest of us have to deal with this fucker. Like, just no. They not good. And as far as I'm concerned, we need someone to place the blame on. So we're placing it all on Bobby Kotick. Fuck Bobby Kotick. He's the one that caused all of this. That's our new stance today. Just as an FYI.
Bobby Kotick, don't listen to him, Bobby. We love you still. We still love you. We don't.
No, we don't love Bobby Kotick. Fuck Bobby Kotick. That was not I'm not so facetious here.
Oh, well, dead ass. Oh, well, I have no idea what's going on. I'm not paying attention. I'm living under a rock. All right.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't. We've talked about it. It's been a few weeks since we talked about it, but he's kind of the center of all of the controversy at Blizzard. Okay. He's the one that kind of let it all happen. Last piece.
That's why I don't pay attention to Blizzard anymore.
I can't say blame you. Last piece of news, though, before we move on, I'm gonna ask you one question. We've kind of discussed it before on the show, but Amazon has officially picked up a God of War series. I already hate it. I'm already pissed off. I don't think it needs to happen. Fucking stop, guys. Stop. We're gonna loop this right back to bleeding the cash cow dry.
Jason Statham for Kratos.
That was my question. Who, if legitimate casting, who would you put as Kratos in this series?
I'm picking Statham, man. Jason Statham. I threw it out there randomly, and I'm kind of going, you know what? Either that, or I saw Goldberg. He played a person in The Longest Yard. Bring him. He could be Kratos.
I'm gonna stick on the same pathway here as you with the Goldberg. Triple H. Triple H with his current year. That would be the ultimate casting for me.
Definitely.
Like, he's stoic enough. He's big. He's muscular. He has the beard. He has that face.
He looks really mean. Usually.
He did also just officially retire from in-ring wrestling. So he's still a part of WWE, but yeah, he as of like 2 days ago, he officially retired from in-ring wrestling. So
good for him.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, that's
cool.
Yeah. Missed the hair though.
Right. Can you imagine him with long hair and the beard now? Dude would be terrible.
The Kratos tattoo.
Oh, and except for the hairline that he has now that's non-existent. Nonetheless, okay, we'll keep moving on. Because honestly, I'm tired and I kind of just want to talk about the main topic now, if I'm honest.
Totally fair.
Are you excited?
I have things to say about that. Yeah.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everything in between, and anybody that has decided that they want to play video games. Really?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the definition. If you want to play video games, if you want to hear Elden Ring, you have officially come to the correct place. Doodles, you've been playing Elden Ring. What are your thoughts, sir?
I think this game broke my heart on a level that is unimaginable. And yeah. It was.
We might need a little elaboration there.
I'm going to elaborate. it filled me with okay. So basics.
We'll start with the basics and we'll move our way here. So tell us about the overall gameplay. It's a Souls game. How does it play? How does it compare to the other Souls games?
It's faster paced. It's if you've played Sekiro, you're gonna get that vibe from it as well. They do. So it's faster in the sense of you're not like, oh man, how do I explain this? There's just they've added a bunch of weird like things that you can also do with it. Like before in Dark Souls 3, I would just do like a strength build or something. I've recently done like a high vitality build where I can tank and do whatever I want. Now there's all sorts of like what you want to do bleed builds, you want to do high faith builds now, and just some of these bosses I've had to respec my character like 4 times. And I'm not saying you have to do that to play this game. I'm sure if you're willing to put yourself through it and like and just be debilitated by certain bosses, you don't have to do that. But there are better ways to fight some enemies, and I've had to respec a couple times in order to fight a couple bosses.
Okay.
You have the addition of Torrent, your steed.
What is Torrent?
Torrent is the horse you ride throughout the game.
Okay. So did the other Souls games have mounts?
What's that?
Other Souls games
no mounts.
No mounts. Okay, interesting.
No mounts. That's a new thing.
I know that they were talking about, so we'll talk about mounts for a moment here. One of the mounts that everybody was talking about, and I don't know why personally, what was the goat mount? And everybody was all hyped on this goat mount for a little bit. Do you know anything about that? Why everyone was so obsessed with it?
So as far as I understand, in Elden Ring, there's only one mount, and that's Torrent, and he's a horse, but he has horns, and it's that
might be what it was. Then that makes.
But there's sense. A lot of people that are you're kind of like a mixed bag with it. I love having Torrent. I think it's great. I think he's a lot of fun. He makes traversing the environment way fun. You got a double jump with him, and that's cool. But you also run into the community that feels kind of like he broke the game a little bit. And
that might have been more of what I was seeing, was more that personal take it broke the game.
Yeah, I mean, there are instances where having the mount and having the horse combat does make it a lot easier. Like, for example, with your Erd Tree Guardian battles, like they're a lot easier with the mount versus just being on foot fighting them. There are bosses where you benefit insane amounts from having a mount, but I don't feel like it's to the point where it breaks the game. In the main boss fights that you have to beat the story on, you generally don't have Torrent with you. You have to fight on foot. And I feel like they did a good job of like keeping that somewhat balanced.
So when it comes to like traversing the map then and whatnot, I'm assuming that you have your mount, at least for the majority of things. How is the map built though? I know that's kind of a very broad question, but the map itself, traversing, exploring, compared to say other games, how would you feel this terrain and this game feels to traverse the map?
So when you first start, it's gonna feel like chaos. All the Souls games are very linear, like Bloodborne and all of these other Souls games. They're all very linear, so you progress and you're in the right spot and you can progress. There are a lot of times where when I was playing Elden Ring that I'm like, am I in the right spot? Should I be in this area yet? Is this area too high level for me? I'm not sure. Like I remember when I first took on Caelid, it's the area just to the east of the starting area. And I didn't feel comfortable in that area until like I got end game almost. I ditched it. I was like, I'm not coming back. Because there's a Scarlet Rot there. It's a mechanic where if you get the debuff, you can get this debuff called Scarlet Rot, and your health bar will just be eaten away really fast. It's like poison on like steroids. So, and that scared me off until like I was end game. So I went there, I did a couple of the things that you have to do there, and then I left it alone. And then I went back after I was like over leveled. Yeah. And, but so yeah, it's kind of chaotic where you're not sure if you're in the right spot a lot of the time. But if you follow the story, you can progress. It is pretty, I guess it is kind of helpful that the community is as involved as it is. They give you a lot of tips, and also the map is pretty easy to read as well in some aspects. That when you're on like a story grace point and you're going the right way, they have like a line coming from that grace point on your map that says like, oh, you want to go this way if you're trying to get to the next area. But yeah, as a whole, it's a lot. And the way they did separate a couple parts where like the main like level jump areas with lifts that you need to collect the keys to the lift in order to get up to the next area. Right. So there's 2 of those lifts that I know of. And yeah, so it's been, they do a good job of like keeping those areas out of bounds until you're ready for it.
Good. That is one thing that a lot of people say is like, you're going to end up wandering into an area that you're not powerful enough for. Like you're going to get riggedy wrecked and it's going to be miserable. So kind of good to know that you can always step away, regroup, kind of get your bearings, change things up if you need to, and then come back when you're a little more ready. That's always, that's kind of a nice little feature. One of the issues that I ran into with Assassin's Creed when I first started playing was one of the first bosses, and it's a mini boss, I suppose, but it's the Daughters of Leoric. And I went in and just got absolutely riggedy wrecked. I'm like level 15, level 10, going up against a level like 90 player. And you don't think about it because she's sitting in an area that like is a 10. Like everything else is level 10, right on the same line as you, and then you just walk into this area and she just ripped through me like it was nothing. And I did
I remember running into something like that with Ragnarok as well. To Assassin's Creed as well. When I was going at the beginning and I went around a mountain, I was just exploring. The next thing you know, I'm in like a level 180 area. And I was like, okay, I don't think I was supposed to be there.
So let me ask you. So since we're kind of talking about, Assassin's Creed, and you walk into that area and it's very clear, like it kind of highlights, hey, you're not powerful enough for this. How do you know that you are not powerful enough to take on that boss as you walk into Elden Ring?
I generally gauge it off of if I'm doing damage. If I'm doing a decent amount of damage, you can pace yourselves with these fights a lot of the time, and you can figure like most of these fights are going to be endurance battles where you're just trying to outlast a boss. But if it feels like you are just bleeding through flasks and you're not going to be able to last through the boss, then you might want to go level up more, come back.
So this game is more experience based. Like you have to go. Basically, you walk in and you find out if they're going to riggedy wreck you after they've riggedy wrecked you.
Yeah, you gauge it for yourself.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. So you mentioned that as well that the story is more linear, right? At least more the Souls games. So tell us a little about the story. What's the overall concept of Elden Ring?
So I mean, it kind of goes along with the same trope as like as Dark Souls 3, I would say, where you're in Dark Souls 3, you're trying to be like the Lord of Cinder, like you're trying to unite all the lords, you're trying to complete the cycle and do all this thing and do all this, and it seems similar to that where you're trying to become the Elden Lord in this game. And you have other NPC. You have an NPC that you meet at a round table who's also trying to become an Elden Lord. And it's kind of just this, your role as a Tarnished. That's what all the characters basically that are sentient in this world are, I guess. If you're like trying to, how do I put this? Basically, if you're one of the people fighting these people, you're Tarnished, and your role is to kind of like try to become the Elden Lord and you're going to the Erd Tree and you're trying to just, oh man, the demigods that, okay, so, I'm having a hard time.
Welcome to an ADHD explanation of a story. This is about how it goes every time.
Yeah, it's pretty much. So so basically the all the main bosses have a piece of the Elden Ring or whatever. It broke apart, and when you kill certain bosses, you get like a piece of it. and they're all trying to stop you from becoming Elden Lord. And basically, the tree doesn't want you to become Elden Lord either. You find that out later. And yeah. So that's kind of fun.
So is this one of those games that, and you know what, I'm gonna just as a precautionary measure, because I'm not playing this game anytime soon, and I will completely forget how you answered this question as soon as I ask it. In fact, you want to know how bad my ADHD is?
Yeah,
I've already forgotten what the question was.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
It was gonna spoil something, and it was gonna be a brief thing. And
as far as story goes, honestly, I'm not like the best at answering story stuff yet, because I haven't been paying attention. If I'm being honest, I've been just trying to play the game and get through it this first time and memorize everything I can. As far as the story stuff goes, I can tell you there's only one story that I really care about, and that's Radahn's story.
I remember the story. Okay, or the question. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, go for it. You want to?
I'm just gonna throw it out there before I forget. Is this okay? Sorry, throw this up. Is this one of those games where it turns out you're the antagonist, not the protagonist? Where you're a bad guy, not the good guy?
That's kind of left up for your decision. Like it's kind of like how you perceive things. You know what?
Just
There's a lot of times
you may have just sold me on that game. I love playing as the bad guy, or like finding out later.
However, you can be the bad guy. It depends on like you can be your play style or however, but it's also just like how you look at these events. Like if you go back to man, I think it was Dark Souls 1. It's either 1. No, I think it is 1, where you're going into the painted world and you fight this lady who's minding her own business. Like you're kind of a jerk. You just go in there and she's just doing her own thing. Yeah, she's a difficult boss sometimes, and she's invisible, and that can be kind of challenging. But she gives you a chance to not fight her. She says you can leave now. And also in DS3, when you're fighting Sister Freed, you know, she basically says just get out of here. You don't need to have a problem. And you pick a fight. You're picking a fight. That's kind of how it is in Souls games. You can be equal parts antagonist, protagonist. It's just how you're perceiving the game, really.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah. With this one, it's similar, I would say, just in the sense of, but I almost want to lean that you are antagonistic in nature because of what you kind of end up doing.
What the end goal is not necessarily as heroic as what you may think from a video.
Yeah, like how you're going about what you want to get out of it. It does feel a little antagonistic. Yeah.
Interesting. I love that. Okay. Now I've seen some pretty epic screenshots coming out of this game. Now the world itself, as you're exploring it, the best way to word this question that's not going to make me sound absolutely insane is the entirety of the world as gorgeous as the basic screenshots that people have put up with all the bright lights and the flashing, pretty skies and whatever else? Is that pretty common in this world, or is it more natural feel?
This game has some of the best views I've ever seen in a game. This game is beautiful. You have starry skies, and then you have a glowing earth tree, and then even underground they have almost like you're looking at like kind of like galaxy style like ceiling like type looking thing. It looks like you're in a smaller like vacuum of space, but like the underground areas of the map are gorgeous, but there are also truly ugly areas. You have your highs, you have your lows, and then
always
oh man, the area next to the volcano manor looks like it's all lava and it's gnarly, and then there's death frogs again, and those things are ugly, and then there's just gorgeous things too.
See, and the reason I really bring that up is just to kind of loop us back to our previous conversation of, a lot of RPGs just kind of feel the same, right? Whether it be Witcher or Assassin's Creed, where you're just walking and it looks the same. How does this one, does it use the environment to set itself apart from other RPGs, other Souls games, whatever else? How does it really differ in the view and the feel?
It's the best looking Souls game.
Is it?
Yeah, and I'm mad at it right now, and I'm
yes,
kind of.
I didn't mean to hit that. Let's put. Oh my!
I may be mad at it right now, but it is the best looking Souls game.
You mentioned it broke your heart and that you're mad at it. What did this game do to you, Doodles? What happened? Where did the game touch you?
It's bad. I am on. What I understand is the last boss. I could be wrong, but from what I understand, it's the final boss.
Okay.
And I'm right now. I'm trying to find. You know what? You put me a spoiler, so I
all right. Yeah, we'll throw spoilers up here for anybody that isn't.
Yeah. So
keen on hearing
you're fighting Radagon, and then he, after you beat him, he becomes the Elder Beast or whatever. Then you have to fight the Elder Beast. It's like a two-phase fight, and this fight has been horrible for me to go through. I have respect my character 4 times for this fight alone.
Good God.
Yeah, so and there's only a finite amount of times that I can do that. So pretty soon I'm going to run out of times to rebuild my character, and I'm just going to be stuck with this build until I beat him. So I took a break. And
fair enough. Everybody has to do that from time to time.
The last 3 days that I've been on PlayStation, I have not touched Elden Ring until today. I played it again. I took a break and I've been playing GTA. And just mindless. I want mindless. I want easy, and that's all I wanted. But yeah, no, I'm feeling like
bro.
I do need.
If you want mindless, that's the game to play. Anyway, all right, we're gonna take the spoiler down as well.
I feel like I'm gonna jump back into it though. I think I have it. I'm gonna get this fight. I just need a couple thousand more tries, and then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna beat him. You're going down, Radagon. You're gonna get it. I hate you.
I do have a bit of a fun fact concerning Elden Ring and the bosses. The final bosses. Four main bosses. GRRM. I did that backward. GRRM. Yes, the main bosses are named after George R.R. Martin's initials because he's a cheeky fuck like that.
I hate your sailor hat, George. I don't even care. You make me so mad. You put yourself in this game. You suck. All right, I'm done. You know what? No, I'm just teasing. Thank you, Mr. Martin, for helping us. No, you know what, Mr. George R.R. Martin, I just want to thank you for the story of Radon, because, like I said, I played through this whole game, and I don't care about any of the story really at all much, except for Radon, and it is a truly beautiful story, and I'm going to spoil it. I don't even care. Give me the spoiler again.
Doing it again.
Radon, the Star Scourge. He's the fighting festival guy. He literally he fought oh man, I forgot her name already. But his main enemy in the game before you show up is a person that unleashed scarlet rot on a sixth of the continent to try to kill this guy and couldn't kill him. Couldn't take him out. He's still alive and kicking. Couldn't touch him. And he's a beast of a warrior. And you know what? He kept growing and growing and growing and become one of the best gravity mages ever. You know why? Because he loves his horse. And he wants to be able to still ride his horse, even though he's freaking huge. If you look up Radon, you see a giant guy, and it's a meme. It is like it's hilarious the first time you see it. And then you hear the story and you go, wow, I suck for laughing at that. Because it's a giant, huge guy. Like in proportion, like if I'm like I don't know how to
Jesus.
Put this. All right, so if I'm like
if
I'm like the size of a toothpick in my head, this is Radon's head, and then like a toothpick or something, it's like that's where I'm at. He's huge.
I'm
riding his horse.
This year.
He's riding his horse. He learns gravity magic just so he can ride his pony, and it is the most heartbreaking, beautiful thing I ever learned, and I love that boss. Best boss in the whole game, even though I couldn't beat him by myself. I had a bunch of crazy summons, but that's how the fight works.
that's how it works. I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? Like,
Oh no, this one is like a part of the game. It is crazy. You're running around the battlefield. This is one of the only times that I'm on torrent and I'm running around and I'm summoning all the NPCs that show up in the fight. This never happens. You don't have summons in a boss fight ever. But all over this boss fight, you see gold signs everywhere for like all these NPCs that'll help you fight this guy.
You need help to beat him.
You need us. You want us with you on this one. Yeah, so I went through and summoned them all over.
Fair enough. Okay, so you've mentioned multiple times that you feel that this is a Game of the Year award contender at the very least. You've said winner, but it's at least a contender. Where do you stand now? Do you still think it's Game of the Year level?
I still my opinions haven't changed. I'm just mad at it.
Being mad at a Souls game is not that uncommon though.
Honestly, it just means it's a good Souls game. Like if I'm mad at it, it means it's doing its job.
Yep.
And yeah. So I give it 10 out of 10 doodlies. Actually, you know what? I'm negative 8 out of 10 doodlies right now because I'm mad at it.
On a good day, it's 10. On a bad day, -8. I love it. Pretty much. I love it. I'm okay. That gives me a little bit more hope. The more I see about Elden Ring, the more I feel like, okay, maybe I could actually get into this one because
you totally could.
All the others just, I don't know what it is that just kept me away from them. If I'm honest, like I don't have an answer for why I'm not drawn to these games. But this is one that I feel like I could be interested in. I have a few other games that I have to play first, but
yeah.
But this seems like one I could actually get into pretty easily, especially if you're playing with me.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely play. My only hot take about this game is the more I play it, the more I just want to play DS3. And so like I mean, I'm sorry. It's a great game. I'm not gonna bag on it, but it just makes me want to play my favorite Dark Souls game, and that is what it is.
No,
and, I'm not going to say that it has better game. Like I'm not going to say Dark Souls 3 even has better gameplay, but what I will say is Elden Ring has yet to make me feel the same way that Dark Souls 3 did, and I'm waiting for that. Like just the pure, I don't know how to describe my joy that I got from Dark Souls 3, but Elden Ring, as far as gameplay goes, it blows it out of the water. I can't say anything like it's not a better game. But as far as the feel, I think I enjoyed the feel of DS3 more.
Fair enough. That's a very honest, very, very hot take, and I appreciate the candidness there. If you had to suggest a Souls game to someone that's never played before, Elden Ring just came out. You need to get this person hooked on this series. Where would you suggest they start? Should they start with Elden Ring, or do you feel like they should go back to the others first?
I feel like the most welcoming is, man, that's tough. It's either gonna be Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring. And here's why. I would have you start with Dark Souls 3. If you haven't played any of these games, I would probably say start with Dark Souls 3, because if you start with Elden Ring has so many things that I'd be worried that you wouldn't want to play any of the other games. Because you don't have open world in Dark Souls 3. You don't have the mount. You don't have half the spells. There is magic, but it's not on this scale. And it's just Elden Ring, they took everything and put all the levels to 10. And it is impressive. It is super impressive what they did. The size of the game is huge, and there's so much you can do in it. But if you were to want to play more than one game, I would say maybe start with 3 and then play it. And then if you fall in love with the series, I mean, Bloodborne is always worth a shot. It's beautiful. It's got this like Lovecraft feel, Lovecraftian type vibe with like the scaries. And Dark Souls 2 is huge. It's a giant game as well. Not as big as Elden Ring, but it's a crazy big game. And Dark Souls 1, if you're a glutton for punishment and you want to see where everything kind of like started, like, I mean, besides Demon Souls, that was a great game. Demon Souls has a remaster. And if you want to see where things started and how he got all of his crazy ideas, you can do that one too.
Don't start there though. Those
Don't
are one
start
you
there.
want to revisit the prequels. Okay,
Those are ones that you play if you
Star
love
Wars.
the way that, if you love these feels, if you love the feel of these games, then you play those
Mhm.
later because you want more content. So
Fair.
that's what I would do.
I love it. Well, Doodles, I think we've reached a good time in the show at this point. We've been at this for about an hour now. You got me sold on the game. I'm very interested. I'll likely throw that on my list of games to pick up once I finish the few that I've started.
Yeah, you got a couple on your plate though already.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna come back to Kana. It's a more relaxing game, and my anxiety's been bad enough. I think I need something that's a little more in your face, I think.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm gonna stick with Tiny Tina's for a little bit, but that's also because it's just stupid amounts of fun. Again, cannot wait for this episode now. I picked it up today, played it today, and I'm already looking forward to this episode. This is still a few weeks down the road. So super exciting stuff coming up. But Doodles, anything more that you were hoping to add about Elden Ring before we start to wrap things up?
Yeah. Hey, real quick. They nerfed the Horror Frost Stomp, and that made me upset. This is one of the greatest moves in the game, and I totally understand why you did it. It was game breaking. It really bummed me out by doing it, and that's all I'm gonna say. Other than that, great game. You're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
I love it. Has there been any mention or anything of like DLCs or additional content for this game? Anything along those lines that we can expect? I know it just released. It's hard to ask for more content already, but I
haven't heard anything yet. But if it follows trend, I'm sure we'll be seeing stuff soon.
Oh, I'm sure. DLCs are all the hype now, apparently, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, GTA is exclusively DLC at this point. So,
all right.
Anyways, GG, great episode.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody for joining us. Again, Nate's Legend here, joined by the fabulous Mr. DaDewdlyDoo Doodles himself. I'd say catch us streaming, but I'm gonna be honest. I've kind of picked up a second job, and meh. Like
I do it.
So tired anymore.
Very inconsistent and scraw for the most part.
I do want to see if we can get something going with Fortnite or a racing game of some sort. I want to take all of you guys on. I want to actually fight against you guys one of these times. So maybe we'll have a tournament, a button mashing tournament of some sort. We'll figure all that fun stuff out. For now. We'll just go ahead and clear things out, get you guys on your way. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. If you have any games that you're hoping that we will talk about, anything more that you want to add, please, by all means, throw us a comment, throw us a message. We definitely want to hear from you. But for now, y'all, it's going to be a fun year. I'm trying to find my outro. There it is. It's really going to be a fun year. We have a lot more coming up. Hopefully we'll be a little bit more consistent with our streams. But guys, for now, everybody, please take care of your mental health. And as always, keep gaming.